Hello guys, welcome back to another video. Before we start, I wanted to warn you that if you hear a light tapping in the audio, I did everything I could to get rid of it and you can still hear it unfortunately. So apologies for that. I will keep in mind not to let that happen again. In this video, we'll be doing a studio vlog while yapping about webtoons with my co-host Inkmunn. We get into comparing our webtoon processes as a beginner webtoon artist and a somewhat intermediate webtoon artist, and some commonly asked questions. So grab your drink or your art equipment and let's get into it. Hello guys, welcome back to my video. If you don't know me, my name is Toriso. I go by Thor Store Online, and this is just a video with Inkmunn. We are going to talk about our webtoons, the behind the scenes, and just have a little chit chat about our goals for our webtoons, what we dislike, what we like, and everything like that. Inkmunn, can you please tell us your name, your webtoon, and about your YouTube channel as well?
Hello, so thanks for having me. It's a great opportunity to collab with you. So my name is Inkmunn. Some people call me Ink or Inky. It's interesting because I just love being called that because I think it means that they have a deeper connection with me. Someone actually thought about giving me a nickname. So basically I have been a digital artist for about 5 years, but I wasn't that public about it. I took it professionally for a couple of months ago, and right now I'm working on a webtoon called Half of Both. Is available on Canvas. Is basically to show the identity crisis a person can face, and it is like a fantasy rom, so we will touch on different topics, but initially starts with an issue if you're like an half American, half Asian, depending, you're like half Japanese, Korean, Philippines, so basically on that you don't get along with your culture that well. Like I have seen people facing identity issues and bullying and stuff. So it initially revolves out that and then it gets to the plot, but I won't be talking too much about it. Then I might be unintentionally giving out spoilers. So go check it out, and yeah, that's it. And actually one thing, when you check it out, it might occur that there are two half of both. I by mistakenly, without reading the rules, I signed up for the Webtoon contest, and right now I can't delete it. So yeah, please, you will figure it out because it's a mess, but you'll figure it out. I will understand. Yeah, I will give you the link, and the one I'm uploading is like weekly basis, so obviously we'll figure it out. The one with more episodes is the one, and in June I will just delete the Webtoon contest one because I can't delete it right now.
I will link Inkmunn's webtoon down below. Half of Both, definitely check it out. Okay, so I think the first topic I want to bring up for both of us is probably what is our goal with being on Webtoon or creating a Webtoon. So I think for me, specifically when I went onto Webtoon Canvas, I did it like 2 years back before, and the first time I was doing it really was just like I want to do comics forever, but I don't even know how to start. And I decided, let me go on Webtoon Canvas because I see that it's very easy to just upload something and see where it goes and, figure out the process of creating a webtoon. So that was my goal at first, but now as we've gone through the years, I see how much bigger of an impact your stories can actually make to other people. It can take them to a different place. It can make them feel safe. I mean, I will say that when I had times where I was going through it in real life,
Yeah.
It was so nice to go and like just read a webtoon, turn my mind off, or even turn my mind on and like think about their world and everything. So I think that's my goal. I want more people to see my webtoons so that it could have some kind of impact in their life. That is, to be honest, how I feel about all the comics that I will make in the future and this one right now. So I think that's my biggest goal.
Actually, like whatever you said makes a lot of sense, relating to stuff and remembering some lines, like there are some super cool lines available on multiple web comics, and I think, yeah, like it helps you in a way to cope with your own things in a very personal level. Like you will be relating to things that you're not public about, and you will think that you will be feel hurt and stuff. So I think your motive is great, storytelling and stuff. My motive is similar, and I think yeah, it's like I think what was like primarily I did not think about making a webcomic. I was more into animation, animatic, drawing stuff, like moving from traditional art to digital art and stuff. I actually wanted to get into the animation industry. But after that, I think I started making a web novel, like kind of like, how should I say, experiment, like trying out different things. And I realized that my writing is interesting. Like it's very poetic sometimes, and it's not like I think all those things build up to make me like creative and like make a web comic out of it. And the initial process behind it is just I want people to hear the story, listen to it, relate to it. I want to touch on sensitive topics. I want like to showcase the things which are not usually showcased in the world in a very comedic and in a very entertaining way, like so that it can be split worldwide in a very simple way. So that is what is my initial goal. So yeah, I just want people to be heard, seen, related, and have fun. Like creating a web comic is always having fun. So, and just be relaxed reading it,
It's nice to be able to communicate to everybody in a simple way, fun way. Yeah, that's interesting though that you said that you wanted to be an animator into animation. Do you think you could still pursue that later?
The thing about animation is that it takes up a lot of time. If I have that much time in me, sure, like I wanted to work with Disney, but right now my focus is more on like the anime industry, not on cartoon industry. And it's a bit different, like the art style and stuff. But yeah, I think maybe in future, if I have the time and if I have the fundings to do it, I will make a anime or like an entertaining animated video, because it takes up a lot of process rendering and everything, and I will be recording a team for it. So
yeah, I believe in you. I think you can do it.
Thank you.
Okay. So the next thing that I wanted to ask is, what is your favorite thing about your webtoon process?
I think like what is the favorite thing is mostly coloring, but I want to know about yours first.
My favorite part is the scripting. Okay. I really like scripting. I like the script writing phase because when it comes to the dialogue and everything and just thinking of how all the panels will flow together to create the story while you're writing the script, it's fun to me. And I don't have to put too much of my energy into it. Like all I have to do is just sit on my desk and type away all my thoughts and all my feelings and all my imagination and just, type it out and everything. So that's always fun for me.
Yeah,
Especially because I don't have to draw.
yes.
Yeah.
Also, like when you're like scripting, I think, I don't know if it happens to you, but you just kind of imagine the panels and like the things that play out during that scene in your mind. I don't know if it's
Yes.
it,
That happens. Yes, it does happen.
it's fun. It's fun. I actually wanted to know one thing, that is like, what is the most fulfilling part of the process? Like, it can be therapeutic, it can be like, having fun, but what is the most like, okay, I did it kind of a thing, like in the process? For me, it's just like saving the things on my photo library, then cropping it out and just thinking that what I wrote in the script is in the, there is some image to it and people can actually read it. So that is what fulfills me the most. So
Yeah, that is one of yeah, that is super fulfilling actually. I think the same. I think when I am able to start marketing my webtoon because I finished all of the panels. Like, actually, the most fulfilling thing is when I get to go onto the webtoon app after the notification goes off and I'm scrolling through it and it looks like a movie. That's the most fulfilling part. Because it's like, whoa, I did this and I went through the whole process for all the panels with from what? From scripting to thumbnailing to the line art to the coloring to the rendering to the lettering to the effects, like so much of the process that I did. And it's like finally it's done. And then I have to do it like 100,000 more times basically because you know how long a story is and how long the panels are. But it's fine. I also think, in my opinion, that webtoon creators or just comic creators in general are very crazy people. I think we're crazy.
we are very imaginative. We are very imaginative.
Yes.
We are pretty delulu as well, but we are imaginative.
So delulu though. So delulu. I think that's what you need for a good story. You need to be very delusional. So it's good, but at some points it's like, guys, how are we doing this?
Okay, like let's have a reality check. Maybe, let's not add like 30 more panels.
Yeah.
Like, we want to make the scene so dramatic and so fulfilling, but inside it's like, oh no, it's like 30 more panels to do that effect.
Mm-hmm.
It happens.
Like, I think while I was doing the webtoon contest myself,
Mm-hmm.
there's so many times where I kept adding panels and I was like, I have a deadline. Why do I keep adding? At some point, one of my episodes almost had 100 panels. I kid you
Dude,
not.
girl, are you okay? 100?
Yeah.
I like read your webtoon like the first part,
And
and
I
yeah,
had
like,
cut it. It was like 80 by the time I cut.
oh my god,
Yeah.
like I read your webtoon, right? And like the first time I was like reading, and it's like, how in the world did you make such a long story in like the first two episodes and stuff? Like, it's, I don't know, it's like very detailed. Like, congratulations to you, but it must be like, I can't even imagine making hundreds of panels. I can barely cross like 40 to 50 and like,
Yeah.
like crash out.
And it's a valid crash out, honestly. Because I I didn't think it was possible either. I think it was straight up, as I said, crazy. I was crazy. I think that's what it was, especially because I had a full-time job as I was doing my episodes. So it took me like a whole month to just finish that one episode because of the sheer amount of panels I had for the one episode. I just have too much story to tell. And yeah,
Too much lord.
and it didn't change. Yeah, too much lore. And it didn't change with the next two episodes either. Like they're up there with the panels.
It's fun.
Yeah.
It's very fun. So, like, what do you like start with? Like, what is your usual flow of making webcomic? Usual flow, like the scripting, then storyline, like think about the story and concept art, etc. Just a little bit insight.
What's my initial?
Mm-hmm. And like the entire process, kind of like, but like in glimpses, if you can break it down.
Oh, okay. So So, okay. The first thing I do is I actually make an outline for a few episodes. So, okay, I'll say that I make an outline for like a whole season. That's the first
Oh gosh.
thing I do. Make an outline for the whole season. Yes, but it's not long. It's not very short either. But I'd say I just I just throw whatever I have on the paper and I see which one lands. And I have an edit. I don't have an edit. Well, I call her my editor. It's my cousin.
Mhm.
I literally call her up and I'm like, okay, look at this, right? Because she's very serious about it as well.
Okay.
That's what I tell her what's going on, and then she gives me feedback. Yeah, she gives me feedback, and I'm like, okay, fine. Then I kind of chop it up, make it nice. Then I look into the first episode, second episode, third episode. So, for let me say for specifically for the competition because that was like just now. So I planned for 5 episodes already. Not because I think I'm gonna win or anything, just because I was like, I wanted to make sure everything connects well with the first 5 episodes, whether I get in it or whether I don't. Yeah, I made the first 3 episodes, scripted them completely, got my cousin to read them, basically like my editor, and she told me whether these things didn't work or not. So I was just getting a lot of feedback from everybody. And then once we're done with the feedback, that's when I basically block everyone out and I just do what I need to do. So I start thumbnailing. I thumbnail either on my sketchbook or on my laptop, like normally. But I find it's better to just like thumbnail on your sketchbook and then take it to the actual screens.
Yeah,
Because I draw on my laptop.
traditionally first, then doing it digitally.
Yes.
Makes sense.
Yes. Okay, after the thumbnailing process, I go into sketching because I can't go to I can't go into line art straight. I have to go into sketching.
Oh yeah, no makes
So I make sure that everything looks proper.
I don't think like,
Yeah, I
like
heard
unless you're like the greatest mangaka of the year, I don't know if you can do it without the sketch. Like if you can do it, you're great, man. Like just hopping.
no, you'd be surprised. There are so many artists that go straight to line art. Like so many artists do that.
Like okay, girl, they are the queens and kings, and not even going there.
Yeah, it seems so.
They roll.
I can't even imagine doing that.
You know what bizarres me?
Yeah.
Like sometimes I see the process videos of making a manhwa, right? Because I really want to make a good manhwa when I move to the SK. But like the thing is, when I see that, it's like so flawless and the line art is so, I don't know if I can use the word damn good, but like I don't know how they do that. Like,
Yeah, it is.
clean.
You can use that word.
Thanks. Like clean freaking line art and everything just fits so perfectly, you know, like it's kind of a messy, but the gravity is good, the line depth is good, it's just perfect, it looks flawless.
Yeah. Where was I? We went on a tangent, but it was a good tangent though.
Yeah, like we were talking about.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
of course. My line art isn't super, like it's not that detailed. I think the magic comes in once we add the colors and rendering. So after this line art, it's colors and rendering, and I use 3D backgrounds. So I kind of skipped that part. But once I'm done sketching, I always add the 3D backgrounds.
Oh, I think it's fine. Like you can use 3D background.
First. I don't add them opt. I add them first because yeah. I don't know, when I was starting off, I used to think that it was shady to use 3D backgrounds. I don't know why I used to think like that. But I've changed my ways, of course.
Yeah, no. It's like the background thing is you're feeling like maybe I should do it because you know you're just like copy pasting or like taking a certain view to do that. But eventually when you face that workload on you, when you are like doing those 30 to 60 or 100 panels, man, you don't have time to do each single panel background, you know. So yeah, like unless you have a huge editor team or
Exactly, yes. Saves a lot of time.
Yeah, unless you have like a background team ready at your desk or like an edited team to just say, okay, this are the things you missed, do it, you know. And at first, none of the canvas artists usually don't have unless you're
Yeah.
working from a.
But even those background teams, sometimes they use 3D assets.
Yeah, I think it's fine. To be honest, it's really fine because you're making a web comic, right? So you're basically like doing unimaginable, or like I don't know if it's like a word or not, but like you're doing so much of work. I think a bit of, I would say a bit of assets and stuff is helpful. Like I see 3D backgrounds as assets. I don't necessarily see it as a way of cheating. It's more of the way to help me out.
Yeah, no, it's not cheating at all. I also think they're assets mostly because if you want to tell a story and if you want to make sure people get tuned in to your story every week or every 2 weeks, like you can't waste too much time on things that you can easily just get done for you, like especially with assets specifically. Yeah, I also don't see them as cheating. They're just very useful tips, useful for webtoon creators, even animators. I also wanted to say that I had something on the tip of my tongue and I literally just forgot. I literally forgot what I was gonna say. I'm so sorry. It'll come back to me.
No worries, man. I also have like a goldfish brain.
Oh, but like it always happens. And I'm like, I have to say this. I have to say that. Like in the back of my head, I was like, I have to say this. Don't forget to add this. And as soon as I'm about to say it, it's just whew, gone with the wind. It's no more there.
Actually, I related and I actually have a really personal experience with it. I can share it if you want.
Yes, please.
So basically, like, I forgot the exact date, but I think it was like last, like Sunday, not this Sunday, like not last Sunday, last Sunday, right? It was, I don't know, I forgot the date. I had my IELTS speaking test. Okay. And like
Mm.
I was thinking that okay, like when you're going for IELTS speaking test, you know the things like the parts they will ask you, because it's like so commonized, like they all over the internet. And I was like, okay, this is what I'm going to say. That is what I'm going to say. Don't fumble. You know you can speak English. You have
Yeah.
you have graduated from an English medium school for like a decade, like more than a decade. You're speaking this language for more than a decade. Please. And they also like don't worry about accents, right? They don't worry about accent. They just
Yeah.
want you to be heard. And guess what I did? I went there, sat there, and it felt like I was talking to an NPC. But the thing is, I don't know what I was talking about. I did not even know that if I was making sense. But like
Oh.
I took my eyes like in a very fast way. Like I did it in like 1 week without much prep, and I still got a band 7.5. And I think it's mostly because of my English tutoring for a decade and stuff. And I did pretty well on listening. All the rest was 7, but the speaking was so messed up because I was thinking, okay, this is how the flow will go. Okay, don't mess it up. And I was frozen, man. I was frozen.
That's happened to me too. And the thing is, I've been speaking English my whole life, but for some reason, I don't know. I feel it's like a English oral exam or something, and then I didn't know how to speak English. And I'm like, this is the language you speak every day, even at home.
Oh, so
You should, like
it's like your
you should know it.
It's like your native.
It's not. Yeah, it's my native. I mean, it's my native now, but my home language isn't English. My home language is like Sotho. That's yeah. So but I've been speaking it like my whole life, even in like creche or what is it, kindergarten. I've been saying it like that, and then all of a sudden, I don't know, it just gone with the wind. It happens. I don't know. It's very strange. Exactly.
Okay, so coming back, like we derailed.
Yes. Um, yeah, the 3D assets. I use 3D assets while I sketch, like after I sketch, then the whole process. Line art, coloring, why am I forgetting rendering. Rendering is where a lot of the effects come in.
Oh yeah.
Shadows. I do a lot of cell shading. I don't do any of the other fancy shading stuff, just cell shading because I do not have time. And the nice like the petals and the cutesy things, the lighting. That's my jam too. And lettering. Lettering is also super, super important. Like, I realized now how important lettering is because it like gives as much as the character looks like they're saying this thing, like it needs to sound like
They're saying it, you know.
they're saying it, even if you're reading it. Yeah. So that's super important. And I take really long with lettering.
Yeah, like if
I took like
I think
whole day.
lettering is one of the most tricky part. It can break or make a web comic kinda.
Yes, it really can. I remember when you were saying that comics are like fun and easy to read, but lettering makes those comics fun and easy to read. And if your lettering is complicated and only you can understand what's happening, then no one's gonna read it.
Exactly.
So that's why it's so important and so tricky.
I just wanted to advise everyone, just use 300 DPI or like 300 resolution. Is like when you're like printing it, even if you don't print it, right? If you just export it to somewhere, it's kind of low quality and it looks dusty. It looks dusty, and I don't think like if you are putting like an hour or two to make a single panel, you want it to look dusty. So just bring it up to 300 resolution. Like save it to your drive, save it to your iCloud, whichever you have, right? And maybe delete it on your phone if you don't have the space. And I completely understand 300 resolution is a huge thing, and making like 40 to 50 panels can take up a huge chunk of space. So what I do is like I upload it and then I save it to my iCloud or like Google Drive, whichever is like comfortable with me. And then I just delete it off the device I am using. So that way it's not hampering, and it's also safe. Like once your device crashes out, you're safe that okay, no, it's saved in the drive or like, you know, iCloud and stuff. So yeah.
I have to be so honest with you. I have nothing saved on the cloud. Nothing.
Girl, please, no. Right after this video ends, please save your panels to your drive. Please, girl. Please.
Yeah, I know. You just reminded me that I have to do that. I completely forgot that I had to do that.
Imagine the device you're using, right? And it's like 2 years, 3 years, maybe a decade. It's like a device. It will crash out one day or so. And if it does not, like, bless you, but like rationally speaking, it has a possibility. So it's better to be safe than sorry.
Yeah, it's done that before too. I've lost everything before, so I don't know why I'm playing like this. I'm playing very scary games. You're
playing with fire. You're playing with
I am playing with fire. Oh my gosh. Okay, after this call, I'll definitely save everything to the cloud. Oof. Yeah. So I spoke about my process. I feel like maybe we should speak about your process as well, and then we can go into the Q&A.
So my process is like kind of simple. It's like very strategic. First what I do is like script. It's not sponsored, guys, but I use Millernote. Okay, please sponsor me. But I don't. It's not sponsored. I wish I was, but Millernote is basically like your brainstorming buddy. So I just use it and script there and make mood boards about my character. I did not make it yet, but I'm planning to, right? So do that. After that, I move on to the storyboard and I do it digitally on Clip Studio. I just use like the pen tool. I use some set of brushes. Like when I started Millernote, it was overwhelming because there was asset stores. You can download really amazing brushes for free, and it was just giving me diamond for free of charge for some like it's not free, like you're paying a subscription. But I think I
Oh.
I think like the amount they take is really justable. Like I choose Clip Studio over Procreate. Don't come at me, but yeah, I do that because I think Clip Studio is much more comic focused, and I wanted to make a studio level of product. So I just chose Clip Studio. But if you're
Yeah.
comfortable with any of the apps you're using, all apps are great. And it's not the app; it's about your skills. Like you can't draw like Picasso if you don't have the efforts and skill and the amount of study, right? So yeah,
Yeah.
I do that, right? I make the storyboard, and after that I like make all the storyboards. Like for the single episode I make the entire storyboard first, and then what I do is like I work on a 800x 3840 canvas. Like it's like 3 panels, like one after the other. I usually do that. Am not comfortable with that entire thing right now. I will be, I think, with more experience. But yeah, like I do that. I make all the panels, and after finishing up the storyboard I go to the line art. And here's the fun for line art. I use pen tools. I don't use brush tools because I think brush kind of smudges my like line art. And I'm not saying like everyone has to use the pen tool. It all depends upon your art style, right? I want to achieve like a manga or like manhwa level art style, and my art style is evolving every day. And yeah, like sticking to an art style is important, obviously. So I just use, it's called the G pen on Clip Studio. It's like the default. There is a default, and I downloaded M Ink. It's available on Clip Studio for free. Like when the asset store, it's available for free. Just type down M Ink and you will get it. I use those, and then pressure sensitivity, do the line art. Line art is over. And here's the thing, I don't do the line art of all the panels at first. I do it 3 3 3 3 3. So like my mind is organized, right? I'm doing okay. So I'm doing 10 panels today, 10 panels tomorrow, kind of a thing. So I do that, move on to base colors, then I do the shading and lighting. And the thing about backgrounds is that I either add it on first or I edit it last. Okay. So basically, backgrounds, if it's like my character is moving in the background, right, then I will edit it first to get the dynamic. But if it's like just, a panel just talking and the background is, just at the background, it's not playing a huge part in that panel, I will put it at last. And then it's like the dialogues, the entire bubbling. I use the bubble tool on Clip Studio Paint, and yeah, that thing takes up time. Like you can have default bubbles, but
It does.
yeah, you can have default bubbles, but the thing is, if you just go off with the Eclipse tool all the time, I think you won't be getting that much of an effect. It's like interesting to use a variety, because it's for two reasons. One, it makes your webcomics more effective. Second, you are learning on the process, right? When you're starting, you don't know which dialogue box would do better, and you're just learning. It's like trial and error method. So yeah, like thought bubbles,
Yes.
then narrative bubbles, and then shouting bubbles, screaming those bubbles, and then whisper bubbles and stuff, and then lowering the opacity when needed. I think those kind of small details make up a lot in the webcomic. Like it gives you life. Like let's say two characters are having a full-on conversation and there are background noises. So what will you do with the background noises? How will you show it, right? So you just give the dialogue boxes, lower the opacity. Like that is what I like to do. Or like just like put the background characters in a darker shade to know where the spotlight is on. So I do that. And I think these are the things I learned more by consuming web comics and manhwa and manga online. It's like when you are reading a web comic, if you're reading it for fun, it's all of course fine. A lot, I think a majority would do that. And but when you're an artist and stuff, I think you should study it as well. Like because you're reading it having fun, but you should also take notes like, okay, this is what they're doing to achieve this, and this is what is increasing their readability, this is what they're increasing with the effects. So yeah, doing it with that. And I know I'm yapping a lot, but yeah, like just studying web comics.
No, you're not yapping. I'm enjoying.
So like just studying web comics is interesting. Like first I used to like, I don't know, I slept at like 5 a.m. reading an isekai one time, but yeah, we don't talk about that. Yeah.
Bonus.
After that, after like I'm running,
Same.
I'm so hurt. I love this community so much because whenever I say like, you know what, guys, I did not sleep for the entire night and I just read 50 episodes of this XYZ webtoon. And they're like, yes, same. Like I'm just sleeping right now.
I don't think we sleep. I don't think we sleep. I've done that too many times to count. When you hear the birds chirping and you're like, oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
And when you're like my where I sleep is like you could see the outside from here. So where I sleep when the daylight comes up, right? So like the light comes out from the curtains and you're like, oh, the it's dawn. The sun is coming up. You should sleep.
And then you can't even sleep because you're still thinking about that story. Like, you're like,
For real.
that is on the hill. And you're like, oh, but why did he think that?
Oh my god. Okay, listen. I have a story that inspired me to make a webtoon once. Like it played a huge role in the webtoon making process, and I don't know, I forgot to bring it up when
I
talk about.
I wanna hear it. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think everyone should read it. Is available. I think it's a original and it's finished. Like it's finished, so you don't have to wait. You know, it's News on Fame. I'm not.
What's it called?
News on Fame.
I love Muse on Fame.
You read it? You read it? Oh my god, you read it?
I love it. I love that.
Bro, like girl.
Yes, I want to say it's so good. I was looking at their arts. You know when you were talking about art styles and how you copy, I was thinking about Muse on
Girl, like it's an
Fame.
inspiration. It's
That's
an
so fun.
inspiration.
That now you're
Oh my god, like it's an
Yeah.
freaking inspiration. Like it's not like it will leave an impact in your heart.
yes.
And-
oh my god.
And like I don't want to say in spoilers, but it's
I love that.
I-
I loved that manhwa. It's so good.
did you cry in the end?
I cried. I cried. I cried many times even. Yeah, a lot of things were like just conflicting to me. I had so many conflicting feelings when I read that, and I think that's a good thing. Genuinely, like
Yeah, I think like if the storyteller could make you feel that way and the illustrator could depict it so well, I think it's a smash, man. It's a smash, and everyone should check it out. Like, I don't know, I don't know, like it was available for like you have to use daily pass and stuff, but I think it's worth it. It's worth it, man. Like it left me so traumatized and
yeah, it is worth it.
like it's
So I've spent a lot of money on webtoons. So
glad I'm not the only one.
yeah, it's gotten me broke many times.
Oh my
It's
God.
fine.
No, it's fine. It's fine. At least it helps us.
Yeah. So we have a few questions. So the first question is, what should you have ready before starting to draw the webtoon?
I think first thing is just having the script and knowing where the seasons will end and knowing like you don't have to know everything, but you should at least know where you're ending, where you're starting, so you don't derail and have buffers. Like yeah, I can't stress enough. Have buffers. So what about you? What do you think? Like
Yeah. I learnt my lesson. Yeah, I think the same thing as well, actually. Yeah, just have an outline, definitely, of what you want the story to be. Like, and you can maybe deviate, but if you stay true to what you want the story to be, I think you'll be good. And, obviously pre-production things like figuring out who the characters are, doing character sheets. Character sheets really help, especially during the drawing process, so you can keep their faces consistent. Yeah. So character sheets, outlines of what's happening, the script, of course, because, you can't draw without knowing what they're going to say. But yeah, and storyboarding. That's what I think.
Actually, whatever you just dropped on, like, is a bomb, because character sheets is something I like kind of procrastinate on, and I don't want to admit it, but yeah, I do. It's like, I told you, like, right, my art style is improving and like evolving each day. So sometimes I like forget, like, stick with the character sheet. It looks so different. Like the eyes look different, you know.
Yes.
So yeah.
Oh my gosh. No, let me tell you, same thing to me. That's literally what happened to me as well. I didn't have any character sheets for my comic for the longest time. Like, I had to keep taking out my old chapters just to see what the faces looked like so I could try and copy them. But then at the same time, those faces didn't look the same in the same chapter anyways. So character sheets are so important. They're tedious sometimes, but they're really important. Like, they will help you level up your art.
Yeah, like if you're serious about making a web comic, have a character sheet.
Yes. Okay, second question. How can I speed up the webtoon making process?
Don't even try. Don't. Because you know what? Two things that happen.
That's so funny. I was not expecting you to say that.
No. How I see it's like, how should I draw fast? How should I make the perfect thing in that takes 1 hour to do in 1 minute, right? You can't. It's a harsh truth, I think. Like, Webtoon, yes, you can take help. You can have like backgrounds and 3D assets to help you out. And maybe, yes, that can fasten a bit of the process, quote unquote process, but the exact process of making the line art, those things, please don't. I can't stress enough. Don't speed it up. Like, if you speed it up one time or the other, your quality will drop. Like the thing is, here's the thing, like, you talked about buffers, right? I also learned my lesson. Like, I did not create a buffer, I'm making it right now. But the thing is, even though I'm lacking, I won't be speeding up the process just because, like, I have to create a buffer, because it will butcher your entire webcomic. And I think you should take time and do your best. Yes, you can use your assets to fasten up the process, but don't like speed up the entire process. It's not like a speed pen video where you will go to your editing app and just, okay, X2 1 hour thing shorten out to 15 minutes. You can't do that. You can't. And what about you? Like, how do you think you can speed up the process?
No, yeah, that's very funny because I wasn't expecting you to say no. But yeah, well, the most obvious is definitely getting assets, having assets on you, especially if you use Clip Studio Paint. There's so many assets out there. Like, I will make an example with my comic. There is this shirt that one of my characters wear, Morgan. She has a shirt and it says, like, it's a band t-shirt with blood and everything. I will be honest, I did not draw that. I did not draw that logo. I did not draw that logo. I got it from Clip Studio Paint. And I literally used that logo and I warped it and I made sure I put it on all of her shirts, and that literally sped up my process so quickly.
Yeah.
And another example is with Rachel's t-shirt in the last one, because she was like wearing merch. I also made that merch beforehand and I literally keep pasting it on her, and I never had to redraw that thing. So definitely making your own assets, getting assets as well. Those are the only ways that you can really speed it up. I don't think there's a way to like speed up your line art. Yeah. Maybe if you practice some more, then you'll naturally get faster. Like with me doing this whole thing, I just every time I drew, like obviously the first episode took so long, but by the third episode, I finished 75 panels in like 3 weeks.
Oh my
So,
god.
so the more you keep doing it, if you keep doing it every day, then you're going to get faster.
Yeah, it makes sense. Actually, I want to add up on that. Keep deadlines. Keep deadlines. Keep strict deadlines. Because when you're thinking like, oh, okay, I will have 1 month to finish it. It's like I don't want to go into like deep into neuroscience right now. But here's like there is a thing with our brain. It's like if we take a thing and have like 1 week to finish it, we will do everything in our power to finish it in 1 week. But if we do the same thing in 1 month, we will dilly the thing to 1 month, and it's like how your brain functions. So keep like, okay, no, I have to finish this in this day. Keep it a day-to-day check, right? I think that is the way you can stay productive, organized, and fasten up your process. Like at first I just kind of joke, but yeah, like don't like butcher your quality. It's like always quality over quantity, and you have to know what the audience likes. You have to show it. It's like show and less like.
That's a good tip.
Yeah.
This person goes, I wish I knew how to abuse CSP or any other program features before starting my webtoon. That is what this person says. That's what they wish they knew to do. And I also have to agree. Only now am I using Clip Studio Paint to its full advantage. Like I never used okay, we did have this conversation before when I said I never used 3D assets before. But like I've never used the 3D models, like the body types. I've never used
inbuilt ones, right?
Yes.
Yeah, like
Those are
about the
great.
in that webtoon contest experience, like that one you were having in the car.
Yes. Oh my gosh. You But yeah, so that really I needed to do that. Like I think that's the thing that I will preach to everybody, preach to everyone. Do you know how easy it is to help? It helps your proportions like so crazy, and it makes sure that you get the body type right all the time. What I had problems with in my old version is I was like, I knew their body types, but when I'm just drawing and trying to keep like redrawing them, I'd always mess it up. It's just like the character sheets thing. It's exactly like the character sheets thing. Like, cause I didn't have a reference. And now I have a reference with the actual full 3D model. Like, that is a lifesaver. And that is something I regret not doing all the way before. Cause I'd be so far if I did that. But you know, live and you learn. And now I'm doing it. And I think my art looks a lot better because of it as well.
Yeah, I actually checked out both of your old version and your new version, and you have improved like a huge ton. I will be honest, I did not read the entire thing, but I read enough to just give my opinions on the improvement of your entire storytelling and stuff, And yeah, like this CSP and like other programs make the entire use of that $1 you give if every month to CSP, like I think I think CSP is like giving you a gift for that like what, it's like 0.99 cents a month to get the normal version, and like $7 a year, like near $7, it's like 6 point some cents, right? Make use of that. Like they are giving you a lot on a very less amount, right? And yeah, just go there. And I think it's also preference. I prefer CSP to Photoshop and Adobe and Procreate because it fits with the webcomic thing, and it's also like you can directly upload it to the Webtoon. Like if you can connect your CSP to your webcomic, you can directly upload it. I think there is a settings for that. So yeah, I do not use that yet, but if I learn to, I will.
How do you go about storyboarding? Should I take this one?
You should start with it because again, you're doing 100 panels. I'm doing 40 to 50. The one is more like daunting.
No, but yeah, it can be. Well, for me, storyboarding, it has to go hand in hand with sketching, in my opinion. Like, the only way that I can do my storyboarding well is if I said sketching. I meant scripting. The only way that I can do my storyboarding well is if I do my script like thoroughly and make sure the dialogue makes sense. Yeah. So the way that I do my scripts, I make my script literally like a film script. So it'll start with the establishing shot. We're in Morgan's bedroom, or we're in Rachel's bedroom, or we're in the university classroom. And then from there, I go about every single panel, what every person is saying in that panel, right? And what they could be feeling, you know. But I don't really say their feelings in that. I just make sure that every single panel has their dialogue, or if there's no dialogue, it just describes what they're doing in that certain panel. And now when I storyboard, I look at my script and I match it to what they could be feeling in that specific, when they specifically say that speech. So, especially when it comes to pacing as well, you know how I said the story beats and whatever, because while I was scripting, I keep mixing up those words. When I was scripting, I made sure that that I had a specific amount of intrigue as well, because of that, it's just going to translate well to the storyboarding. There's no way it wouldn't. Yeah. So that's how I storyboard. That's how I go about it. So I do it on my notepad. I do it traditionally. It's easier to do it traditionally, and it goes very fast because you literally planned everything first in the scripting. So yeah.
Storyboarding is kind of like an interesting thing to me. Like, as I said, like before, I used to like learn about animation, right? When I said that, I mean like I was learning about animation. I used to do it on Flash, right? I stopped it, and I think your procedure and my procedure are a bit different only because of the ways we do it. So basically, I don't like to boast my own trumpet, but I was like, my one of the studios I visited back in my grade 7, they were like, more than welcome to accept me, even though I did not have the physics or like the math. Those things are also included in animation. I mean, it's not the main, but some parts, like the assets you're using and stuff, sometimes it's coded and all. Yeah, it's like the technical part, right? So they just wanted to make me learn animation only because of my art skills back in my middle school. And yeah, like, but I did not sign up for it only just because like I'm like what? I was like 12, 13, right? And not the age where you know that okay, that is my passion, So I don't think like I just did not want to put in that much funding to the thing like I'm not sure about, because I was just exploring. So I just signed up for like a 2D program. Like it was a bit cheap, and I just signed up for it and learned a bit. But then I left it only because I think I joined various tutorials online. And yeah, like my storyboarding process is hugely inspired by my animation storyboarding process, which is a bit different, but not that much. When I said you like I storyboard directly on like on the canvas, it's like I do the postures and the sketching together. So basically what happens to me is like in animations, like I know about, I think animator spoke about it who works in Japan. There was a video like basically you have a sheet, right, and there are panels, but the panels obviously have a different size. It's more horizontal than vertical. So like each panel you have to fill up with the things you want to do. And as this animation, you like have to make the in-betweens and stuff. So my storyboarding is a bit inspired from that. No, there are no in-betweens, but it's like when I want to make a dramatic scene or when I want to give in some effect. I did that in my latest episode. Like in my second episode, I made the characters glow and just give them that, the aura and the energy of that scene, like to make it alive, just make it alive. And I think my animation skills, I'm not that much great. It's more of an intermediate, but those things help me out with my storyboarding. And yes, it's different, but yeah, like it's a different approach. And storyboarding is like, for me, it's also like concepting the entire episode. Like when I script, I storyboard in my head. Yeah. So like basically in my storyboard, I literally have this thing. Okay, this like I explain movements in my scripting. So whatever just comes in my head, I drop it and then edit it. So like there are movements explained, like maybe Suho, that is my male lead, does something, right? So it's like Suho colon says something, then in asterisk the movement of it, like does this. If he's moving something, I do it during the scripting. It is very much of an animation level scripting, like when you're like putting in dialogues. Okay, he does it like when you're scripting, you are putting in dialogues and you are also putting in expressions. And this type of scripting is usually if you are hiring like an illustrator or an animator, because you're just providing the script, and the script has to be detailed enough to make them know. Because it's just, I make sure that if anyone reads the script, they can imagine the scene in their head, including the movement. Like an illustrator, you can literally see the script and illustrate it without any of my help. Like that is the thing. Yeah, so I think that came from my learning animations. And yeah, like even if animation takes a lot of time, huge block through them. But yeah, even if like I don't pursue it in the future, if I if I don't have the time, right, I will never forget the things I learned during the process. So yeah. Yeah.
That's good. I don't have any animation background, so that was good advice as well. I'm really just doing things like off my head and hoping it lands. So that
It's all actually really great. It's like putting your brain like intrusive thoughts on play sometimes, and yeah, just creating it. I think I tell it to my community a lot, and to anyone watching, I'm telling you this: create it for fun, do it for yourself, and make sure it has value for others. Because yes, doing it for others is great, because when you're like not having the motivation to do it, you are thinking like, okay, I have to do it for the community. But in the end of the day, if you don't do it for yourself, I don't think you have the energy. Like, I don't think like the external motivation can drive you to do it more.
Okay, that was like all our questions. I think we can wrap this video up. Thank you so much, Inkmunn, for joining. This was such a nice chat.
Having me, girl, like, oh my god, like entering this community, so I can't even imagine.
This was so fun. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, like I can't even imagine the amount of support. And like I'm very new to this, like I did not expect so much of support and love from this community. So yeah.
Yeah, me neither, Like it's really beautiful at the end of the day. I think we all just know the struggles of what it's like to be in this specific niche.
Yeah, like it's like growing over the years. It started, I think, during the lockdown. I think it started growing from the lockdown, and it's like growing exponentially. No. Yeah.
Yeah, it's always nice to have such community. But yeah, thank you so much again for everything. Thank you for the chats. Thank you for yapping with me. Really, we yapped in this.
I yapped. Like, we are just yapper, guys, okay? And thanks for the viewers who are...
Same. I really yapped as well. So, we're yappers.
Yeah, and thanks for the viewers who are like sticking to the end to watch it. Like, you guys deserve a rose, okay?
Seriously. Like, wow. Can you imagine that? That's crazy. Yeah. But anyways, we're gonna wrap this up. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe to Inkmunn's channel. It's linked in the description below. And, check out her comic, Half of Both. And yeah, definitely like, subscribe, share this video if you really enjoyed it and you want to, share it with your other artist friends. And hopefully you drew something or did whatever you had to do while you were watching this video, because I know it's long. But anyways, thank you guys again, and I will see you guys next time. Goodbye.
Guys, please check out her webtoon as well. She did not pitch it again.